Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the Business News here on Media Live. My name is Alfred Akanse. Let's go on to our first story, where an Imani business firm has indicated that doing business in Ghana is increasingly becoming difficult, and they've urged that the various agencies develop the right strategies to improve on access to capital and other related matters to improve on doing business in the country.
It also identified high tax rates such as increase in capital gain tax from 15 to 25% and 15% withholding taxes on individuals as some factors which hugely affected the SMEs. Presenting the report, business lead of Imani, Abuaji Minta, said uncoordinated policy implementation between government and the Bank of Ghana on exchange rate also crippled businesses.
The challenge with the SME fund was that when it was proposed, it was attached to the now infamous CDB loan. We never really were able to implement it because the funds we were expecting under the loan agreement never really materialized as we were hoping to get. And so we never were able to implement the SME fund, which left a gap in companies that were not necessarily agro-based, which also needed funds to grow. So that was a policy gap.
The report has recommended the preparation and a holistic and comprehensive private sector strategy to ensure the private sector has access to affordable credit.
The government has to make sure that it looks very carefully at these policies, ensure in some cases consistency in the policies so that the outcomes that are anticipated will be experienced. There are policies that can work if they are implemented, but sometimes it is the same aspect of or different aspects of government that prevents the policy from working.
The Ghana Securities Industry Association has called for the harnessing of resources to achieve a robust, deeper and broader capital market in Ghana. According to its president, Reginald Franz, a well-developed capital market is critical to Ghana's economic transformation process.
Capital markets are a broad category of markets which facilitate the buying and selling of financial instruments such as stocks, bonds, treasury bills, and notes, both for short-term and long-term durations. They help in mobilizing funds and channeling them to productive sectors for economic growth of the country. Ghana's capital market has been saddled with many challenges, including low participation due to the lack of investor awareness, the problem of market illiquidity, and regulation. To discuss issues geared towards developing the capital market in Ghana, experts and policymakers met in Accra as part of this year's Capital Market Week celebration.
Investor education and individual education is very important, and we would wish all parties to join with us in financial literacy and investor education, because that goes to the corporates, that goes to the individuals, and about savings, and especially the informal sector.
The chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Eric Okain, is of the opinion that it's about time government raised its foreign debt notes locally through the Ghana Stock Exchange.
The Eurobond syndications every year is at the expense of developing the local market. If attention is paid to developing the market so that those monies are raised locally, then of course we'll be deepening the local market. The cocoa purchases, the LDCs buy the cocoa in local currencies and they go to the banks to raise those funds. So in actual fact, it is the local banks that are financing the purchases.
A representative from the Ministry of Finance outlined measures government is taking to support growth of the capital market in Ghana.
To lengthen the maturity period for our various bonds. Currently we have the 7-year bond. We want to lengthen the maturity period, possibly to a 10-year maturity period, and maybe possibly later on 15 years and 20 years if possible.